the government is announcing a zero-tolerance approach to domestic violence, to sexual abuse, and to the grooming of minors.
The Cabinet gave instructions for an interministerial committee to work to develop a policy on emissions.
And
I want to encourage more companies to consider listing.
you're watching Jamaica House Weekly. Welcome.
Be careful which news you believe.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness urging Jamaicans to be skeptical of crime information being bandied about on social media. He said fake news has contributed to panic in the society on issues relating to gender-based crimes.
We have looked at several videotapes, postings that have been made about crimes to ensure that there is nothing being placed on social media which is a true crime which the police is not aware of. And up to yesterday, we have verified 2 videotapes of sexual abuse, sexual molestation, which have been circulated. And the response commissioner is that those 2 cases are now before the court. But from our estimates, anywhere from between 40 to 50% of what is circulated is not true.
The Prime Minister was speaking at a press conference unveiling aspects of the National Crime Plan to deal with violence against women and children. Among the actions, using existing laws to remove tints from public passenger vehicles, de-escalate domestic abuse situations by detaining aggressors, and initiate counseling and education sessions as a condition of bail for persons who've been held on domestic abuse charges. 400 police officers will be trained in conflict resolution and domestic violence issues, and the Domestic Violence Act will be strengthened with stiffer penalties for perpetrators. Prime Minister Holness also came down hard on sexual abuse, grooming of minors, and child pornography.
The threshold for discretion for prosecution has been lowered to 0. All crimes of this nature that comes into their knowing, into their knowledge, must be prosecuted.
Mr. Holness said he would also be engaging the country's international partners to get information on Jamaicans who have been deported for gender-based crimes so they can be placed on the sex offenders registry. And when he met with the diplomatic corps Tuesday, Prime Minister Holness called for partnership in stemming the flow of contraband, particularly small arms, into the island.
We do want the support of your countries in ensuring that the various treaties that surround the proliferation and trade in light and small weapons and light arms that have such a negative impact on countries like Jamaica, that those treaties are supported and indeed effected.
Prime Minister Holness also told the gathering that the country was working on an emissions policy.
I've told them that that has to come to the Cabinet in 3 months in draft form, and we hope to have it ready for the legislative process where that may be necessary by the end of this year.
Jamaica hosted its annual Diplomatic Week from February 5 to 10. Mr. Holness also attended a reception and tour for Jamaica's international partners at Devon House. On Wednesday, Prime Minister Holness recommitted his government to supporting the growth of small and medium-sized enterprises. He said though government's move to incentivize the junior stock exchange has resulted in the foregoing of some taxes, it has allowed companies to expand through investments.
The objective is to get you to grow, to employ more people, and to share the prosperity of your growth.
Mr. Holness was speaking at Wednesday's official listing of Main Event Entertainment Group Limited Company on the Junior Stock Exchange. Prime Minister Holness attended the ceremonial opening of Parliament for the 2017-2018 legislative year Thursday. His administration also tabled the estimates of expenditure in the House of Representatives, proposing to spend approximately $709.9 billion for the 2017-2018 financial year. The bulk of the money is for recurrent or housekeeping expenses, amounting to nearly $485 billion. This year's budget is a $117.25 billion increase over the last fiscal year. On Saturday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness journeyed to Western Jamaica to visit the family of slain 15-year-old Shanika Gray.
I want you to know that if there's anything at all that you need, anything I can do, I am right here, I'm willing and available.
Back in Kingston Sunday, Mr. Holness feted the press with a media appreciation function held at Vale Royal. The Prime Minister found time last week to meet with representatives of UC Rizal Global Management. He was joined by Transport and Mining Minister Mike Henry at Tuesday's meeting. And that's how we close out Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more of the news stories coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.